message. I'll get back to you.
Jim, it's Shirley Cleaners. You know that brown jacket? The one I said looks so great on you? Your favorite? We lost it.
You know the drill. The Jim Rockford should have gone to Young's Dry Cleaning. 2 walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery. All right. No, he should have gone to Young's. Because in case they lost his jacket, they'll make a mistake every few years, I guess, maybe. Not put a button on a shirt. It is New Orleans, Young's Dry Cleaning territory. They'll make it right. Dale and Don, 4th generation since 1940. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Yeah, you, right. Corey Johnson back at you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll throw it out there right away. Ghassan Korban, Sewage and Water Board Director, was scheduled to join us in about 15 minutes. He had to cancel, pushing it back to tomorrow. Now I'm bummed out because of the story with the alleged payroll fraud, the sex room. I honestly think there's something that came up. It may have had something to do with those large black block-long pipes, about 4 feet in diameter, that are laying on Claiborne Avenue in between Jefferson and Napoleon right now. But we are rescheduling that for tomorrow. Now, I'm bummed out opening up the show with that. I'd rather say, I got him coming on in a few minutes, and we'll talk about this. I do have a great guest coming on in a few minutes. We had him scheduled for 4:35. Now we're going to get him on at 4:20 and have some extended time with him. Your phone calls are welcome, New Orleans. Rouse's Markets phone lines on this wide open Wednesday, 766-9480, 766-9480. John Morgan, the father of Trey Morgan, the first baseman for the national champion Tiger baseball team. Trey Morgan's dad, John Morgan, is going to join us in a few minutes. I think en route to BR for tonight's festivities. College baseball's best, the national champions. Trey Morgan's Tigers having a party at Bertman Box tonight, starting at 7:30. I think the gates open at the box at 6:30. Celebrating a 7th national championship. Pretty darn cool. LSU's baseball team. Yeah, John Morgan, a lot of TV time. Sitting had the end seat right on the aisle. Lots of television time the last week and a half from Omaha, Nebraska, and the College World Series. He's going to join us in about 10 minutes on the program. Yeah, you right. If Latoya Cantrell is one thing, she is consistent. You could say consistently bad, consistently predictable, consistently brazen, consistently belligerent, consistently entitled, consistently aloof, consistently not caring. You can, whatever. She's consistent. May not be good, but she's consistent. Doubling down on Vappie, reinstating. Put him back in my executive security detail. Well, she's doubling down on the OPCD director, Tyrell Morris. The car wreck, 911 call, not as required when you wreck a vehicle, alters documents about operating procedure on the vehicle. The council wants him gone. He's resigning not until September. Reportedly, there's an OIG investigation. All of that does not matter. The mayor's standing up for him. Will not ask him to leave right now. Too important, just too vital of a position and a person that just knows something that no one else does. And this special person, we have to keep him there. It's mind-blowing, mind-boggling. I love David Hammer with Channel 4 asking the mayor why Morris wears an NOPD badge. What did I ask Hessler yesterday about that? Is he a cop? No, he wears a badge. Hammer asked him about it today. The mayor about it. The mayor said, "Are you joking? Are you serious?" The mayor said, "It's only allegations that Morris altered records and lied." And then Hammer's like, we saw the documents. We showed the documents. We have video. The mayor, well, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen them. Well, then maybe you shouldn't have an opinion or a comment on it until you see them. Corey Johnson with you. Open Wednesday. New Orleans' own Leonard Fournette had to pull over on the shoulder of I-275 in Tampa in his Dodge Durango SUV as it caught fire, totaled. It's crazy. I mean, the front bumper, front grille, the hood, the all of that just gone. Quarter panels mangled, engine just looks like it's melted, just blackened from the fire. The passenger compartment is intact, but you don't know if the vehicle is going to blow up, if flames were going through the vents under the floor, the windshields blown out. Scary for Leonard Fournette. I mean, can you imagine going down the interstate and your car catches on fire? You see flames maybe coming out of the, over the front grille or through the cracks in the hood and the front quarter panel, or worse, inside the vehicle. You're doing 70 on the interstate. Stuff. Let's head to the phone lines. Wide open Wednesday. It's very hot. Hydrate. 97 feels like $108 right now. 97 feels like 108, and that ain't great. Let's head up to City Park Avenue. Heading towards Metairie Road, Jay joins us on the program.
What's going on, Corey?
How are you, Jay, on this hot summer afternoon?
Just getting more and more aggravated. Just when our illustrious leader for the city of New Orleans, we think she can't do something else, she just goes right ahead and does it. I mean, the nerve of this lady, huh?
Yeah, just no shame, no honor, no integrity. It's obvious, Jay. There's 2.5 years left. 2.5 years left for her. She knows that how am I going to ever have this opportunity again? That's how she looks at it. Not, hey, I'm an elected official. It's my civic duty. Let me try to help the city and the citizens. Let me try to help myself. As many free meals, as much stuff as I can purchase and get reimbursed by the city. We're going to go that route. That report's going to come out soon. The free meals that she gets reimbursed for, obnoxious. And the junkets that produce nothing but aggravation. Now, Jay, this mayor might be under federal investigation right now, but yeah, no honor, just does not care, Jay. Doesn't care.
Well, and one of the things you need to look into, Corey, is this date for, the gentleman. Like, why September 15th? What's going on that September 15th is when he's going to resign?
Oh, no, that's a brilliant point. Jay, that is a really brilliant point. I said the simple thing yesterday, juice 3 more months of salary doing nothing, like Morales does with the sheriff's department, pulling about $13,000 a month, watching cable TV at home.
Right. I mean,
but that's the vanilla kind of kindergarten childlike answer, really, that I was saying. Yours is a little more advanced. GED at least, maybe college level. Mine was kindergarten. I'm dead serious. You might be onto something. It might be like some type of retirement date where you get some type of larger retirement, maybe a date where you can get advancement. get promoted. That's a really good point. Why September 15th?
Hitting that, with the government, some type of like little bit of bump. There's always something. I need the yellow ticket. All right.
No, that's a great point. Jay, thanks so much for the phone call on City Park Avenue. Yeah, you right. Jay dialed us up. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. What a great point. May not be anything. Might be arbitrary. I would bet against it, though. Why September 15th? Jay might totally be on something there. Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. John Morgan, Trey Morgan's dad, is next.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ooh, la, 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 that's what I said. Ooh, la, 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 that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Kevin has been holding on in Texas. What's happening, Kevin?
What's up, Corey?
How are you, man? What's on your mind this afternoon?
I know you guys come up. Two quick questions. Did you follow up on the Navy ships, and did the governor sign the bill for the PMAC being renovated, or what?
I think the that legislation was signed. It's about $50 million going towards the PMAC possibly being renovated. Another 50 in the future. The most definitive is like $1 million just to look into it. And then as far as the Navy ships, working on it, Kevin, well, I haven't forgotten about you. Those Navy ships over there on the Mississippi River at the not intracoastal, at the industrial waterway, what they're doing sitting there. Kevin in Texas, thanks so much. Back on Monday night, 18-4. LSU doing to Florida what the Gators did to the Tigers in game 2. That was beautiful. Most important, winning the national championship. So many players, so many contributors, so many stars like first baseman Tyrell Morris getting it done over and over again. One of the defensive highlight plays of the entire College World Series, all 8 teams, not just LSU. One of the biggest plays. And then several offensive plays as well, helping LSU to victory. Great job at first base, including getting that Wake Forest batter, runner on first, trying to come back to the bag, getting him out on the replay. The first base missing the call there. Tyrell Morris's dad, John Morgan, was catching a little TV time on the end of the row there. Up in Omaha, the College World Series. John Morgan joins us live on the program. How you doing, John?
It's incredible. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking me.
It was so funny when I called you today and you answered the phone, and obviously you were in a room with some other folks, but I heard you just laughing before you said hello, and I said, still enjoying yourself from Monday night, huh?
Don't want to come down, man. It's been adulation, in the state of Louisiana as well. The LSU nation has been following this team. We ran at one spot for about 11, close to 12 weeks in a row, maybe. And then we hit just a slight speed bump. And everybody looked like when we hit the bump, everybody just started jumping off, or they're not for real, or, we had to regroup, and then we made the second breath. Then we get to the SEC tournament, and we don't win the tournament. So everybody's doubting that's this team again, that they're not for real, they're not ready. But Coach Jay Johnson stayed the course, man. And then you had a couple of guys in the bullpen. I'm going to let you kind of run it, but I'm just following the season. Yes, we're extremely happy, Corey. Thank you.
It's easy, John, to play Monday quarterback. I'm talking about me and go, hey, maybe those are the things that contributed to the national title. But maybe they are. Like, you're number one, you're expected to go to Omaha. You're expected to win the thing. You're supposed to never lose a game. Going into that, like you said, kind of the speed bump thing, that little dry patch with a little concern with pitching and the like, maybe that got everybody's attention, reset, and now focus on this tail end of the season when it really counts.
Go ahead, Corey. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You know it. Actually, and that's what it took. I mean, these young men, they're there for a reason. You're at this institution that draws a 10, 11, 12,000 night game, Thursday night, Tuesday night, any night of the week. You got 12,000 people, where the average stands are mostly or in these SEC arenas that we've been to hold about 7,000 people on the road.
Yeah, LSU outdraws the Marlins, the Rays, the Oakland Athletics on average.
Wow. Yes, indeed. So you see that, and then these young men are, they have to find themselves. They have to find their position. Where did they see themselves, especially the bullpen? Where did they see themselves in this rotation? We know we had Skeens. Floyd teetered on greatness, and then he had to reset. We know we brought in Thatcher from UCLA, and he was going through that injury bug that he had to overcome. Remember, he sat out a full season before he actually got back to the mound and got back into the swing. His last 4 outings were spot on. Spot on. I mean, this kid, he could have been a 1 anywhere else in D1 college baseball. And let's not forget Raleigh. Raleigh came through the way he did, and then we came in with Ackenhausen. We had Gavin Guidry. So they found their position. They found their lane that worked for them, and ultimately the bats. Were the bats. We were hitting the ball all year. We just had to defend the home run, and we ran into what better way to win a College World Series and fall into the losers bracket and have to play every day. So you stay loose the entire time you're up there in front of 25,000 people every night. So it was fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, for LSU fans, it was fun. Just Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Saturday night, Sunday, Monday night. I mean, that's a hell of a ride.
The parking lot alone was just purple and gold. I mean, we were looking for parking spots in a 30,000 parking spot arena, and it was just LSU fans. That was crazy. My family and I, we loved it. We wouldn't have no other way.
No, I think that guy at Rocco's paid off his mortgage off that shot game.
Yeah, no doubt. We caught it 2 nights. I told my wife, no. We're not going back in there. That's not a good place for you.
Yeah, the food bank got some money, and he paid off his mortgage. I mean,
he helped the economy by keeping LSU in that tournament, and it came down to what it came down to. I mean, a team. I would say one thing. I kind of heard the young pitcher spoke like, "Who's going to beat us?" kind of thing, and there was no way as a coach I would have let that kid that air. But with social media now, and it as soon as he said it was out.
2 things kind of jumped out at me, John, about Wake Forest. I thought that was a blunder. And then I thought during the game against LSU, the game is going on, and Lauder comes out, and in the dugout, the players are hugging him and, boy, it was such a great time being with you and all this. I'm like, there's a game going on, guys. Like, Skeens wasn't getting that kind of hugging. And, boy, we enjoyed the ride. And this is probably your last outing. And so great. That was I was like, Wake Forest, man, y'all are, I don't know if it's focused like this is over with or you've won or you're not focused on the game. But I thought that was a little bit of a mistake. But some people thought I was overreacting on that.
I think you're spot on. I mean, you watched that's watching details of the game, and that's what you did, because I'm big on the details. I'm big on how does a team, their pregame. Their pregame after they shake hands with Coach Johnson, they go into their manager, their coach, their head coach goes into a dance mode into the crowd of his team. They go into dance mode and start celebrating like the game is over. Like they literally, it's almost like that's their routine, but it's almost like they were mocking LSU, like, y'all just your next opponent along the way. We got y'all done. This game, y'all will be done in this game right here. And I was like, wow, okay, let's go with it. And they went with it. I mean, it was a duel, but I would say the test, that SEC is just different. It's like playing in the Catholic League here in the city of New Orleans. You every week you have to prepare for your next opponent, regardless of what their record is. Yeah. And that's how weathered LSU was. They were very weathered to get punched in the mouth. They had a plan for punching them out. We're going to do a standing 8, and then we're going to punch you back and see how you stand, see how you come back. And that's the kind of game it was. We call it the play. It just so happened it's my guy, our guy, Trey Morgan made the play. But the play, and I'm going to send you some pictures probably later on before I get to Baton Rouge today, with regards to the runner after he laid down that bunt and ran past Trey and saw Trey running past him. And the look that he looked like, where are you going? That was priceless, man. That play right there solidified how gritty LSU really is and was throughout the entire year.
Your son on that play, rushing towards home.
Oh my God!
Scooping up the bounce and having so athletic because the glove's there and the right hand is an inch away from where the ball's going into the glove, so he can immediately grab it and then underhand flicks it. And I don't know, John, we're talking about, hundredths of a second there where the tag is on the Wake Forest guy's thigh. His hand's about 3 inches over the plate, and he's diving. So, within milliseconds, that hand's touching the plate.
Wow, you painted that picture so well. You painted that very well, man. I was actually envisioning the play all over again just now. Very good. That's kind of what happened. That's it.
Well, it's easy to do it on replay. Harder to do it when you're your son in real life.
when you got 25,000 people watching you, and then it happens in real time. There was a lot of moving parts at that time. Schemes came off the mound. He took a look at it. The guy that Trey was holding on first, he took off to second. The guy, Trey watched the guy take off from third. He took off with the guy. They're racing, and then the bunt. Then Schemes lifts his foot. The ball hasn't even been thrown yet, and everybody's moving. And then the ball goes to first base. Took a really good hop, and just like you said it, you got to credit Milazzo. Because a lot of times that one hand tag, the interference, the foot is in the line. You look at Milazzo's leg; it's inside the line. You look at his tag; it's a blindside tag where he swung right where the guy had dove and hit him right in that thigh area.
Yep.
Right before the hand came down.
Yep.
Where the players and the ball stays in the mid.
Yep. Hang on 1 second, John. I'm going to knock out a quick break. I didn't mean to cut you off. I got to knock out this break. We're coming right back, John. A pleasure to have you on. I'm looking forward to this next final segment with you. John Morgan's with us, father of Trey Morgan. Don't move, New Orleans.
It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com.
Exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitive prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking your loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe. John Morgan is with us, the father of Trey Morgan. Or are you Trey Morgan's dad now?
Well, that's what Trey has his own identity, Corey. I'm just thankful to be along for the ride, man. Thank you. I love your energy, man. Thank you. Yes, I'm Trey Morgan's dad. That's it.
Now, he went to Brother Martin, right?
Graduated Brother Martin 2020, COVID year. Yeah.
What the hell's that about? You're a St. Aug guy, for crying out loud.
Right. You see, now I was okay with that until you did that. Man, I'm going to you probably get me assassinated, man. Don't do that.
I'm a De La Salle guy. Old Catholic League.
Catholic League. Hey, and coming out of Christian Brothers, Trey had he decided once we saw he excelled the way he did in baseball. St. Aug, my alum, wasn't as proficient in the sport. I mean, he said, "Dad, I can win, but I can't do it all." And I respect that. He has always aspired to win at a very, very high level. He played for the state semifinals in 2019, and they lost to St. Paul's by 1 run. And then COVID year hit, and he nursed a UCL injury. And then Coach Maneri had made that COVID had lifted. They found that shot and got him up on campus, and the rest is history. With regards to how he went in there with that mindset that he wanted to play at LSU and he wanted to play at a very high level and win a national championship before he left, and moving forward. So
what's moving forward? Because I don't know. I see a guy with great glove work at first base. I mean, those few times where Skeens was throwing it to him just in the perfect spot, and your son just as it's coming in, it's like those tennis players catching the ball in the racket. He's just, It's coming in, the ball, it seems like it's almost still going back. He's got it in his glove, his hand's going. He caught that guy. You probably didn't see it at the stadium on the replay. That Wake Forest guy, the second time, was out. And the ref at first missed it.
Yeah.
But the combination of Skeens and your son, I'm not knocking any of the LSU pitchers, but Skeens throws it exactly where it needs to be for your son to work that incredible glove work and try to get the runner out on first. He just seems like a natural first baseman. He seems like a professional baseball player. Is that the next step?
Well, that's what you go to that university for. You go there to win a national championship, and God willing, you stay in contention to move on with your career to the next level, and that's why those guys go to LSU. We've been there a few years to see even guys now with the transfer portal, Corey, as you well know, that even you got good players at schools that are not where where the player probably thinks that he needs to be, and they're coming into LSU to really match up with that type of competition to make a good team even better. So, and you mentioned Skeens a couple of times. He's one of those guys. I mean, he was at Air Force. He was one of the only guys I saw at the D1 Power 5 level that caught 3 innings and then went pitch 2 or 3 innings to close out a game in 2020 in the same game. He did it in the same game, and I thought I was looking at the wrong number because he wore number 10. Back then I said, is that the same? I said, do they have two number 10s? Because this guy's pitching now. He was just catching.
Can he hit?
And they're batting in the 3-hole. He was a one-man wrecking crew.
He could hit?
Oh, man. It was like watching a right-hand Otani when I watched him in the fall.
He's a beast. He's a monster. He's giant.
He was at first base with Trey. I said, is he as good as you, Trey? He says, he's as competitive as I am. So whatever he's lacking, he makes it up in competition. Whenever he sees me do something that he can't do, he gets there earlier to practice to work on that so he can incorporate that into his game so he can show me that, look, I can do this too now, Trey. So he's the ultimate competitor. Everything that you guys see, it's and some, because he's still the guy that Paul Skeens gets there early to practice and leaves there late to work. Paul Skeens incorporated a changeup. If you guys didn't notice, his last 3 or 4 outings, he moved off of that fastball and toned it down to about an 86-mile-an-hour changeup for a strike on a 3-2 count to several batters, and they weren't expecting it because they were watching footage of him throwing 98, 99, 100, 102 in that 3-2 count and challenging them. He changed the whole game. He was alternating innings on Wake Forest. He was literally fastball 1 inning, changeup curve the next inning, fastball next inning. And that's kind of how he stretched out so long in that College World Series.
We're visiting with John Morgan, father of New Orleans' own Trey Morgan, first baseman for the national champion LSU Tigers. Wow. Hey, your son's a junior up in Baton Rouge, right?
He's a true junior, Corey. Yes, sir.
So is he going to forego his senior season?
Well, that's one of those things that we as a family haven't, Trey's still riding the national championship.
Yeah, he should be.
Yes, and he is absolutely riding that. He is not really sat down with us, mom and dad, on it. I would say based on Trey has some options. He has really good options. That's where I would go with this right now until I actually sit down and talk with him.
Yep. No, exactly. And that's the best thing possible, having all these positive options. You almost can't go wrong.
Man, you're incredible. I love that. Love talking to you, man. You're incredible. Good job, Cole. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Hey, we're looking forward to a great night tonight. I am going to send you those pictures that we talked about to show you that the bunter and the buntee. So it was like the hunter and the huntee. Yep. He bunted it to the one person that could actually make a play on the ball.
Maybe in America.
Yeah, wow.
Maybe in America. Seriously, I think 99% of first basemen don't make that play.
I don't want to take up much more of your time, but I will tell you this story, a Tommy White story about that play. So Tommy White goes, they're squaring around to bunt. Tommy White looks over. He doesn't see Trey. He says, oh, my God, they're about to score. And then he sees Trey darting to the field.
Yeah, coming out of the left side of his vision, I bet. Well, your son, pounding the ground, I think he's almost like, that's a damn good play I just made. I like almost.
You are the man, brother. You've got every detail to this play. That's incredible.
He's pounding the ground like,
yes. The guys I've talked to that broke the whole play down from start to finish. Yes, that's right, man. We're very excited because then, of course, we get Cruz on second on a double. We get the Tommy White walk-off. Is it Tommy White tie or Tommy White walk-off? No, Tommy White walk-off.
Yep, walk-off, yeah. Those two.
And then the old man. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, those two, John, you go ahead. Cruz and White, a wrecking crew.
Whoa. I like to see that. I like to see that in the home run derby with a nice little L screen up and let them two just pound the ball.
I got a good one for you. Who's faster around the bases, Dylan Cruz or your son?
Well, I can tell you, it depends on. I don't know, man. That's a good one.
Cruz is a rabbit.
And they both love that triple, don't they?
Well, and you saw Cruz the last 2 at bats the other night. He is as fast, has the angle down the apex of the turn. He is nailing it. 4
to 5 steps per base, and he's gone to the next one.
Yep.
and the ring on the finger. And that just basically, I said, Florida, thank you. You know, but they really act bad after they beat us 24-4. They really cut up on us on that 24-4 win. And I love the way Jay did with the team. He didn't allow them to come. I mean, they could have came to the stands. They just turned around, went to the dugout, got on the bus. We didn't see them even go back into the hotel. The next day they came out, they looked like Gladiator. They looked like 300, the movie 300. They came out, and I was like, oh, wow. Something's bad about to happen to Florida. And they lived up to it. I didn't see Thatcher Hurd coming. Did you know Thatcher was going to pitch?
Well, I mean, I don't know about like that. And Ty Floyd pitched better than Skeens, arguably. I mean,
17 strikeouts.
I mean, come on. That's insane.
I've never seen anything like it, man. It's one of the best runs. It's a story that we're going to talk about for a very, very long time. And when you have those kind of names, when you go with the Cruz and you go with the Skeens and you go with the White, you got Morgan, you got Beloso coming back with a Dugas in there, you got Joe Barry in there, you got the Thompson is the telltale story for every young man who ever wants to play anything or any sport in life of how to get off the canvas and come back and show your resiliency of a champion. What he did in front of that many people and the way he played in that championship game spoke mounds of the type of character that young man is. To go through what he went through on that stage, I mean, he was lonely. He was out there by himself. But his team wouldn't let him down. They would not let him go down by himself. Dugas literally, as the captain and the senior guy, went around and patted him, said, let's go. You're going to be okay. Let's just get through this one. This is not just one game, and it's not your fault of a game. And the way the LSU nation and the fans came behind that young man. His dad, Thompson's dad, had tears in his eyes. The way there was Jordan Thompson, and he was just chanting his name every time he came up. And every time he came up, he made a play. Yep. He made a play, Corey. It was incredible.
Man. No, he probably had 10 touches, 12 touches on the ball. On Monday, you can listen to the podcast of the show. I was like, this kid who's like 0 for 21 or whatever, wow. Couple of errors. Watch what he does tonight. He's probably going to do the opposite. He's probably going to make some big plays. And then I got the text to a buddy of mine. I'm like, Thompson's due for a big hit. And then he goes in 0-2. And I text my buddy again. I'm like, doesn't matter. He's due for a hit. And he pops that one out and left. It's just when you're a winner like that and you're 0 for 21, I mean, it's sort of like the Florida Bats in Game 2, John. They were dormant all College World Series. It was inevitable those sluggers were going to start hitting the ball a little. Hey, John, can you hang on one more segment?
I got that for you. Absolutely. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
No, Thank you. My pleasure. John Morgan's with us, Trey Morgan's dad.
Young's Dry Cleaning with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Loving this conversation. John Morgan's with us, the father of Trey Morgan, first baseman for the LSU national champion Tigers. John, are you in Baton Rouge right now?
No, I'm in Covington, getting ready to head that way. And like I said, I wanted to make sure that I get that text message, those photos of that play to you, man. You have been incredible, man. The way you are a sports nugget. You are definitely a nugget, brother.
Well, it was fun. I mean, how could you not watch every minute of those games? That was a hell of a week and a half for LSU fans everywhere during kind of like the slow time of summer, just exactly what the doctor ordered.
That's right. That's right. For them to get back to that pinnacle, it took Coach Johnson, to unify that team with all those names, all those stars, all those different individual pieces, the portal, the seniors, the Dugas and Beloso stepping into their role there, and then coming back with Pearson in there. Pearson made a heck of a play.
Boy, the game's LSU loses, he doesn't make that play and left.
You're talking about running back, and then you jump in full stride.
Top of the glove.
Come on, get out of it.
Yep.
You're talking about it. That's when everybody is holding the rope. They're going with their Skip Berkman version of how to win a championship there. Everybody had to make a play. No one individual piece is going to win this, because everybody else that you're playing against want you off of that. I mean, it's down. You start out with 16, and you dwindle it down to the top 8, and then you go into that losers bracket, and then you just have to play. You have to play your way out of that bracket. And so there's no, if you're masking your players, if you don't have that bullpen, if you're just masking with 1 or 2 guys, that you're going to get exposed when that guy hits that point where they can't go any further.
Yep.
And to see Florida come with their guy. I mean, they came with their big guy, and they really thought after 24-4 that this is LSU's done. You know, they can't. They're not going to be able to overcome our guy. When all the while we wanted that guy up there. That's the guy we wanted up there because we watched that guy in the SEC tournament. And we saw with how Vandy, and I said, I'm not knocking Vandy, but Vandy wasn't LSU. LSU has a lineup. When you're trying to walk a guy to get to another guy, and you're like, well, no, walk that guy and walk that run in, and that way we'll keep it at least to a one run minimum. I mean, it was incredible to see those minds, those coaches start moving those pieces the way they did, and Coach Johnson moved those pieces the way he did. Man, he moved those pieces. Came back with Gavin Guidry after Gavin gave up some long balls.
Yep.
The day before, came back with him. Said, nah, the wind, that 22-mile-an-hour wind was blowing for real. I saw it. I mean, that gust was in there. That ball, that 6 ounces get up there, it blows right out of the park, and that's what they were trying to get it up. But Thatcher's spin rotation was too much for him. His spin rotation. Then you came back with Gavin, who's a master at the curve and the slider, and they were spent. They couldn't get that ball in the air anymore. I knew they couldn't beat us on the ground, base to base. They couldn't beat us on the ground. When we had a complete team this year, and we won the national championship.
You win 4-3, 1-0 on Monday night. That's all that matters. But the gravy is after the screw up or the perfect storm for Florida in game 2, the 24-4 loss, not only flushed mentally and physically, but LSU does the exact same thing to Florida the next night. 24 hits, 18-4. I mean, it was almost identical. Florida was up early, just like LSU was. Florida gets a late homer that's meaningless to make it 4 runs like LSU the night before. I mean, it was almost the exact same thing.
Right story. That's it. There you go, man. That's it. Give them the exact same taste of their medicine,
exactly.
Just a little bit bitter.
Yep.
Gave it to them at the wrong time, the time that they didn't want it to happen. They didn't want to have to.
Game 3. Yeah.
Game 3.
Yep.
Take all. It's been awesome, man. Thank you.
Hey, Trey was recruited by Maneri?
Nolan Kane started that process probably his freshman year, and then went on to, Nolan said that, hey, I need to see you against a better competition. I'm only watching you against 85 to maybe sub 90. I need to see you against some guys that are throwing in the mid 90s. And I literally remember that conversation. I talked to Coach Kane over the course of the weekend. He actually texted me, reached out to me and said, congratulations. And I'm glad you guys stayed the course. And it was more like, where are those guys? And he said they were in the future games. And Trey had a really, really good future game. I think he went maybe either 6 for 12 or 6 for 9, something like that, with a few walks in there against 94, 95. And Coach Kane was like, hey, we're bringing you on campus for an unofficial visit, and we'll talk about how it goes official. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see it.
Now, when Maneri left and Jay Johnson came in, was there concern?
Not so much of, he wasn't necessarily, coaches to this day, coaches bring their guys in and some kids are moving around. But we had made a covenant, Corey, that we weren't going to jump around. I was betting on Trey. I said, bet on yourself, man. You can play. You're the best I've ever seen, but it doesn't mean that makes it official that you're the best they've ever seen. But you're going to go play for them. You're going to learn that system, and you're going to go play. The waters were a little ripple in the beginning because you got an athletic first baseman, and you got a West Coast guy who believes in offense.
Yep.
And so it's a double-edged sword. Like, why is that guy there not running fly balls down out there? And the only thing really kept him at first his sophomore year, because, we kind of would have experimented with it a little sooner, is that he had that knee injury, and it kept him at first base.
Maybe it was all that stuff's meant to be. Hey, John, I really appreciate the time. Drive safely. 7:30 tonight. You guys are going to have a good time up at Alex Box.
Man, it's been a long time coming. Thank you, Corey, and I'll get those pictures to you, brother. Talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, John. That's John Morgan, the father of Trey Morgan, joining us. 5 o'clock powwow next.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
I love the Jetsons theme. Yes, I do. More musicians in this cartoon intro than a lot of today's great musical acts that aren't musicians. You got to be able to play an instrument to be a musician, right?
Meet George Jetson.
What's those, piccolos, flutes? How nice.
His boy Elroy.
String instruments, lots of them. New Orleans. It's like jazz, trumpet.
Jane, his wife.
And then just simple creative chopsticks on the piano. It's a cartoon. Listen to those horns. Human beings that are experts, proficient at their particular instrument, musicians, a thing of the past. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. This probably isn't the best thing to say. I'd prefer if you wait till 6 o'clock and not do it right now. But if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, I would go back, YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, around 4:20. John Morgan, the father of Trey Morgan, the LSU first baseman, joined us. Catholic League, New Orleanian like me. We're about the same age. It's pretty cool having him on, especially the heroics that his son and the rest of the LSU Tiger team performed over the last week and a half up in Omaha, winning college baseball's national championship. Trey Morgan had many plays contributing, including the defensive play of the year, arguably, to help LSU squeak by Wake Forest. That was just an incredible play. What was that, a 5-3 win, I think? Or was that a 1-run win? I mean, the games just blending together because it was Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday night. Oh, excuse me, no Friday night, Saturday night, Friday night off. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, 4 in a row, Friday off, Saturday night, Sunday, Monday night. Just awesome. Awesome. LSU winning every game after Monday's loss to Wake Forest and winning college baseball's national championship. Every game except the blowout loss to Florida. And then they got revenge the very next night, doing to Florida what Florida did to LSU the night before or the day before, and picking up the most important thing, the trophy, the hardware, the national championship. John Morgan was fantastic. What a great guest. Just had so much to say, so much great information, not only about Trey Morgan, but about the LSU team, all the other players, Jay Johnson. LSU, national champions. Tonight, college baseball's best. They're having a party at Bertman Box. The gates open in a little over an hour, around 6:15, 6:30. The party starts at 7:30. They've got, you've got the entire stadium, which is about 10,000, 11,000 plus. And then you've got folding chairs down on the field and a stage set up out in center field. So LSU doing it right, celebrating their second national championship in as many months. What, in about the last 8 weeks or so, 9 weeks? Kim Mulkey's Tigers, another LSU coach in year 2, winning a national championship. Now it's Jay Johnson in year 2, winning a national championship. Brian Kelly, the most important program football, turning it around from like the Titanic sinking. The ship's popped back up. It's the motor's running. It's motoring to shore. Everyone's saved. I mean, that was the Titanic. Ed Orgeron had one of the greatest seasons in college football history, and then I don't know what took a powder, as they'd say in the 50s, just went bye-bye. Like more than that. Kind of like how New Orleans and Louisiana operate, not just in neutral, going backwards. Like the blueprint on how do you crash a national championship program that's been on cruise control for the last 2 decades. I mean, hard to do, hard for you or me to do it. Just 2 abysmal years and 38 scholarship players, and Brian Kelly comes in. What I'm all getting to, what all this leads to, what I'm getting at, I got to get Scott Woodward on the program, the LSU athletic director, huh? This guy is Midas. Brian Kelly fixed the football program right away. Just incredible. I thought that was going to take a few years. It was that beat up. It was that down. Did I mention 38 scholarship players, not 85? What a masterful job he did. You could argue he's done as good or better a job than Kim Mulkey and Jay Johnson, and those 2 won the national championship. So Scott Woodward, 3 hires, 3 Grand Slam home runs. We'll see what happens with McMahon, the men's basketball coach. He was in a deeper hole than Brian Kelly was. Corey Johnson with you on an absurdly hot, wide open Wednesday afternoon. Hot, hydrate, 97 feels like 108. 97 feels like 107, 108. Ouch. Hey, every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. Most of us aren't going to need air conditioning help today, this week, this month, probably this summer. But some of you out there are going to experience air conditioning needs, air conditioning problems that need to be solved quickly. AC not working right, not blowing as cold as it's supposed to, making a funny noise, or worse, not working at all. That's when you call Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. If you're like me, you don't want to learn about air conditioning. You want someone you can trust. You got them. Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys at River City's Total Maintenance. They happen to be air conditioning experts. No one knows it better. They'll diagnose it quickly. They'll diagnose it right. They'll fix it right. And then they come immediately because Lucas knows you're inconvenienced. You're in the heat. You don't have to go to the in-laws. You don't have to sleep in the heat. You don't have to rent a hotel room. You need air conditioning help? River City's Total Maintenance is there right now. Honest AC experts that come immediately. Find them at NOLAAC.com. NOLAAC.com. River City's Total Maintenance. NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. Just burn it in the old brain. Easy to remember. NOLAAC.com. So when you need AC help, problem solved with the best. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. Corey Johnson with you. I enjoyed visiting with John Morgan, father of Trey Morgan. I think you'll enjoy that too. That was in the 4:00 hour. If Latoya Cantrell is one thing, she is consistent, huh? Doubling down on Vappie, doubling down on the Orleans Parish Communications District Director Tyrell Morris. Had a caller last hour, Jay, on City Park Avenue. Why the September 15th date to resign? Why that date? Is it as simple as like Morales, the second at the sheriff's department that was supposed to have quit months ago? But that's Susan Hudson's old roommate, her pal, one of her best friends. These two lived together. They shared an apartment. They're friends. They're close friends. That's her buddy. Now, she's been keeping her on for months and months and months, and it's $13,000 a month Morales clears. $13,000 a month doing nothing. $155,000 a year doing nothing. 3-4 times the city's average for a family of four. Morales isn't doing anything. I don't know. That I think is just a pal thing. You know, hey, keep getting the $13K a month. Wink, wink. Tyrell Morris, the September 15th date, is it some date of you get more for your pension? You get to retirement date, you hit 20 years. I don't know what it is. And maybe it's nothing. But the caller was made an interesting point about why September 15th. And the mayor hell-bent, doubling down on Tyrell Morris. Won't ask him to leave early. Even with the wreck, even with him calling off 911, even with him not taking the drug or alcohol test, not on site, not after the fact when he's required to, altering documents with the operating procedure on them. The council wants him gone. He's being reportedly investigated by the Office of Inspector General. And the mayor's like, nope, we're keeping through September 15th, his resignation date. He's in control. Really strange. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? He said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. A wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Hey, if you're on the Causeway, call in a to-go order at Trey Yen right now. What a great way to spend the evening, dinner. Dine in at Trey Yen or get a big to-go order. They walk it right out to your car. Curbside delivery. Trey Yen in Mandeville. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. At the foot of the Causeway, you North Shore folks. You South Shore folks, it's 25 minutes from Lakeside Mall. Tonight for dinner, make it Trey Yen in Mandeville. Great way to split up the week. It's Wednesday. It's hump day, dude. More music coming your way next. No, good way to kind of get you over the hump as we head towards the weekend. A little Trey Yen din din. Yummy. Boy, that lemon chicken's good. It is a wide open Wednesday. It's hot. Hydrate. Lots of agua. Be smart. 97 degrees. Feels like 107. Latoya Cantrell saying she wants Tyrell Morris to stay. He's very important. He's vital. Just comical. Comical. Tyrell Morris, there might be like an investigation into how he avoided getting tested for DWI on the scene, how he avoided, how he got the 911 call to go away. 911 was called and then he canceled the call. How's he get to cancel the call? Altering the documents. That's an incredible part of this whole thing. The standard operating procedure of the Orleans Parish Communications District, just in their rule book. I forgot what it was. It's like section 1.13 or something like that. If the operator of a vehicle for the Orleans Parish Communications District, it's a city-owned vehicle and Orleans Parish Communications District vehicle. If the operator of the vehicle gets in a wreck, gets in an accident, he or she must take a drug and alcohol test immediately. And that's too vague. Immediately is too vague. Should be that within X amount of hours of that accident. Within 2 or 3 hours of that accident. So immediately to me is a little vague. That night, the next day, within the week. But that isn't even what Tyrell Morris was arguing or trying to, discuss. Cassie Sherm, who does a great job, she's an investigative reporter for Channel 6, working with Travers Mackle and some others, does a great job. She's like a little pit bull. Comes in, she's been here like a year and very aggressive, not belligerent, not unfair, professionally, doing everything as a pro, a journalist. She requests those bylaws, that sheet, that page from the Orleans Parish Communications District talking about standard operating procedure when there's an accident. The operator of the vehicle must take a drug and alcohol test immediately. She sees that, physically sees that on the paper, requests it from the Orleans Parish Communications District. Tyrell Morris sends it to her. with 4 words added to the sheet in front of the operator of the vehicle must take a drug and alcohol test immediately. 4 key words. If injuries are reported, comma, if injuries are reported, comma, the operator of the vehicle must take a drug and alcohol test immediately. How about if damage is reported, you wrecked the vehicle? The whole point of that isn't if injuries are reported, we're taking a drug or alcohol test. You wrecked a city-owned vehicle. We want to know if you're on drugs or you're drunk. It's unbelievable, just all the way this mayor, this administration, people under this mayor try to circumvent the most obvious stuff. Like no human beings ever believing this type of stuff. And the mayor painstakingly always goes through this sort of routine of this plus this equals this. You know, arguments are fairly easy. You have a logical, fact-based premise. You have a second logical, fact-based premise. Facts, reality. You have 2 of them. That usually leads to a logical, fact-based conclusion. The mayor just throws out one premise, which isn't even a premise. It's nonsense, garbage, lies, incorrect, not factual. Throws out a, not fact-based. I don't even want to say conclusions, just whatever she needs to say to fit the narrative. I wouldn't maybe call it premises and conclusion, a conclusion. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, LSU Tiger fans, I highly recommend checking it out. John Morgan, the father of first baseman Trey Morgan, joined us for a good 35, 40 minutes from around 4:20 to 5 o'clock. You can check it out on YouTube. New Orleans' own Leonard Fournette, speaking of LSU, had to pull his Dodge Durango SUV over on the shoulder of the interstate, I-275 in Tampa. That's a little nerve-wracking to begin with. No one wants to pull a vehicle over on the shoulder of the interstate. This was elevated, so it was like a bridge-type situation with the wall, not just grass and endless shoulder. So he's on the tight, shoulder of interstate. I mean, it's Tampa, so it's modern. It was fairly wide. But he had to pull over because his vehicle caught on fire. And the photos are pretty incredible. Like the front bumpers just melted off. The grill doesn't exist. The hood's missing. The quarter panels of either front left fender are kind of burnt up and warped. And then the engine's just black. And it's just the bare engine, like any of those, plastic parts that sit on top of the engine, covers and hoses and airflow type stuff, or the bottle that holds water for the squirters, whatever it might be. All of that just gone, melted, just burned up. So I don't know, Leonard Fournette, fires coming from the floor, from the AC vents, from the dash, nothing inside the vehicle, but he's seeing smoke and flames coming from the hood, has to pull over on the interstate. No, the vehicle's totaled. But Leonard Fournette's very fortunate that didn't wreck the vehicle trying to pull over, didn't get caught in the fire itself. Crazy stuff. College baseball's best, the national champs, the LSU Tigers, having a party at Bertman Box tonight. It starts in 2 hours. If you're in New Orleans, you're like, man, summertime, I got nothing to do. Let's go. Let's jump in the car and go. You can easily make it to Alec Box Stadium. Right now, even with traffic, about 90 minutes? 90 minutes right now? Might be even wiser to wait about 30, 40 minutes. Leave around 6:15. It'll take you probably about an hour door to door. They open the gates at 6:30. 7:30, the party starts. LSU celebrating the national championship in college baseball. Doing it, 8-10 weeks after celebrating Kim Mulkey and the Lady Tigers winning the national championship. Unbelievable. Just getting it done in Baton Rouge athletically. Best quality, best price, best selection. Getting it done is your local grocery store. You know I'm talking about Rouse's Markets. Over 60 stores. They've been doing it over 60 years. They have everything you want. I love the Rouse's brands, the Rouse's labeled items. Highest quality at about half the price. Usually sitting right next to the item that is exactly the same thing. You know, it might be Kraft cheese, and then it's Rouse's cheese, and you can tell Kraft did it for Rouse's, that type of thing, and at about half the price. I love the extra virgin olive oil with the Rouse's label. I think it's Cola Vita, the one I get. Half the price, like $9.95 instead of $18.95. Best quality, best price action. There's one in your neighborhood or near your neighborhood, Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home on this wide open Wednesday where it is hot. 97 feels like $1.08. Ouch. That's harsh. Latoya, the Destroyer, Cantrell will not ask Tyrell, what is his last name? Jeez, I can't even read my own writing, Jason. Morris, thank you. I was about to say Morgan. I'm like, I don't want to butcher John Morgan and his family. Morris, thank you. Will not ask him to leave. He resigned. He's going to leave September 15th. Jay from City Park Avenue last hour called the program and said, you know, why September 15th? Now, yesterday, I brought up September 15th, his resignation date, and I kind of gave the kindergarten basic vanilla answer, the simple answer. Not that it isn't a good one. You know, I was thinking of Kristen Morales, the number 2 to Susan Hudson in the department. She was supposed to have left that department 4 or 5 months ago. She stuck around earning $13,000 a month. Multiply that by 6. 13 grand by 6. What's that? Almost $80,000, $78,000 in 6 months. 78 grand. 13,000 a month in salary doing nothing. So I kind of just went with that. Like maybe it's a Kristen Morales, like Susan Hudson in the sheriff's department, keeping her friend, keeping her pal or roommate on the payroll, earning $13,000 a month. Maybe it's as simple as that. Yeah, I'm sure Tyrell Morris, as the director of the OPCD, makes 6 figures. Staying on that payroll. I mean, if it's like $1.55 like Morales at the sheriff's office, that's $13,000 a month. So I went with the simple vanilla kindergarten answer that maybe Tyrell Morris is staying until September 15th to milk that cow for 3 more months. And if it's Morales, that's another $40,000. But Jay was like, what's the September 15th date significance? And I didn't think about it that way, like that date significance. I just thought that date in the future, 3 months away, make more salary. Like I said, the simple answer. Jay got me thinking like, is it something like we'll hit 20 years and gets more retirement money? Does it have something to do with pension, retirement, tenure on the job, something of that nature? What is the significance of the September 15th date with Tyrell Morris? Why does the resignation take effect then and not immediately? Like the council wants, like most people want, not the mayor. The mayor's hellbent. She acts like Tyrell Morris is special. Hey, y'all, not anyone can swerve into a vehicle and drive in a city-owned vehicle like Tyrell did. It's incredible. Hey, y'all, can you call 911 and then cancel the 911 call? Come on. Can you avoid a DWI test? Cedric Richmond. No, Tyrell Morris has a lot of splaining to do. And reportedly, the Office of Inspector General is investigating all of this. And the mayor's just standing behind him. He's our guy. It's not only that, he's special. Like no one can do his gig. It would be while we have a violent crime problem in New Orleans, it would be wrong to take him off the job until a full-blown replacement that's qualified is in place. People like J.P. Morrell on the council and Helena Moreno disagree. There are a lot of people that could take over for Tyrell Morris right now. And maybe it would be an improvement because he certainly wasn't doing a good job at the OPCD and his little limited role that he's got with the police. Not at all. So the mayor doubling down will not ask him to leave when just, I don't know what, has to happen for the mayor to act. The Vappie thing, it's nothing stops the mayor. She, I think, sits with friends and says, y'all, in 2.5 years, I won't be mayor of New Orleans. My life is going to change dramatically. This lottery I won with a bunch of lousy voters in New Orleans that elected me not only once, but twice. This lottery I won twice. It ends in 2.5 years. So, hey, y'all, anything that's not nailed down, make sure you box it, bag it, and let's take it. Reimbursements of city meals, just petty stuff like Ray Nagin. The junkets, like we thought Nagin was petty with the junkets. Latoya Cantrell is like a few a month. About average is what, about 3 every 2 months? About every 3 weeks or so, every 20 days, it's jump on a jet first-class flight somewhere. America, internationally, Western Hemisphere, Europe, Asia, Middle East, South Korea, wherever, whenever. No, the mayor knows all of this is coming to an end. There's no golden parachute. It's my rear end when this ends. My life, my lifestyle is going to dramatically change. This role that I can play as mayor, city of New Orleans, and act like I'm wealthy, like I'm, someone important. Got to juice this thing until they kick me out. Hey, Leidenheimer French bread. I had a po' boy today, shrimp po' boy. It was on Leidenheimer French bread. Yeah, that po' boy you're enjoying, shrimp, oyster, roast beef, whatever. Chances are, if it's quality po' boy in New Orleans, what, about a 99 out of 100 chance it's on Leidenheimer French bread? Some of the city's finest restaurants, I shouldn't say some, most. Leidenheimer French bread, hot Leidenheimer French bread, room temperature butter. That's tough to beat. Breaking over that hot to touch Leidenheimer French bread. A lot of New Orleans restaurants, the little bag, either like foil-like or paper. Some with the logo of the restaurant, some with just a brown bag with that little mini loaf of Leidenheimer French bread. Leidenheimer French bread, good to the last crumb. Since 1896, Leidenheimer Baking Company. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. It is hot. Stay hydrated. 97 feels like $1.08. Ouch. Latoya, the Destroyer, doubling down in the wrong direction. Typical. Hey, last hour, a good one. John Morgan, the father of Trey Morgan, joined us on the program for a good 35, 40 minutes. Hey, I want to apologize. Things happen. I'm just being truthful with you. Ghassan Korban, director of the Sewage and Water Board, scheduled to join us today at 4:20. He postponed, canceled that till tomorrow. He'll join us tomorrow to talk about the sex room, the payroll fraud. That'll be tomorrow. Ghassan Korban, executive director, Sewage and Water Board. On Friday, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. That segment's always brought to you by Latrim. And you know Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, born, bred, based right here out of New Orleans. 1949, J.M. LePere invented the shrimp peeling machine. A few years later, that invention led to the all-plastic modular conveyor belt. Those two items specifically, the industry standard around the world, every continent, everywhere. Latrim, a culture of innovation, and they are hiring because this company for about 20, 30 years straight has been on an unbelievable growth spurt worldwide. About 12, 13, 1,400 employees in Elmwood, a few hundred on the North Shore at their I-12 facility. They're hiring at both. That means East Bankers, West Bankers, North Shore folks, they got you covered at Latrim. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson.
Women are often throwing clothing items at me, saying you're the possessor of the cool factor. I have to fight off the ladies.
90 minutes of fun every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint. Supply.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Why aren't you at Katie's right now in Mid-City? Wide open Wednesday, perfect wind down spot after work, perfect lunch or dinner spot. They do that 6 days a week. Brunch on Sundays. The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant, just full of a bunch of New Orleans characters. Big portions too, great for sharing. A Mid-City mainstay. It's got to be Katie's. And don't forget about Scott Craig's other place in Lakeview, a real deli, Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. They got about 15 different specialty deli sandwiches to choose from off the menu. Or you can build your own sandwich at Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. Pick the bread, pick the meat, the dressing, the cheese, all the extras. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria in Lakeview. And Katie's in Mid-City. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Man, we're like 5:45 right now, almost 6 o'clock. It is 97, feels like 108 right now outside. 97 feels like 108. You know what's amazing? In about 2 hours, around 7:45, it's going to be like 85 feels like 85. Or 20-something degrees cooler feels like in about 2 hours. No, I get home, I feed my dog. Tolly wants to go for a walk pretty much immediately. He realizes we're not. I'm like, buddy, it's sunny, it's hot. No. And then by around, 7:45, now closer to 8, the sun's going down, a little breeze picks up. And I don't know what the deal is. I used to sweat in the summer walking my dog, and now I don't. I don't know what it is. On days like this where it's 97 right now, feels like 108. It's oppressive. You'll sweat just walking in the car right now. And in 2 hours, it's like 20, feels like about 25 degrees cooler. Now, what's weird, once the sun goes down and it's, quote, nighttime, you go outside at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, you'll sweat. There's no breeze usually. It's just oppressively hot and humid. But this little sweet spot around maybe 7:45 to 8:15, 8:30, at least most nights so far this summer, have been pretty sweet, no pun intended. Latoya Cantrell, every Wednesday she has her media conference. Today she's backing Tyrell Morris. He's sticking around. He's vital. He's important. She acts like he's special and no one else can handle this job. And if he leaves, the violent crime problem will just get even worse in New Orleans. And it's so important that he stays around till the date he wants to leave, his resignation date, September 15th. I wish someone in the media would ask, why is he resigning? What was his reason for resigning, Mayor? Well, y'all would have to ask Mr. Morris about that. All I know is he is so important. This is the guy that wrecked his vehicle. I'm assuming he was drunk. Don't you have to assume that? For the 911 call to be called in, then him using some kind of stroke he has to cancel that? And then when the police come, somehow not taking a DWI test for them, and then what is required from his office, the operator of a vehicle must take a drug and alcohol test immediately following an accident. He added to that document, if injuries are reported, not if someone's injured, if injuries are reported. Yeah, that dude was decapitated. He didn't report. If injuries are reported, the operator of the vehicle must take a drug and alcohol test immediately. He did not do that either. And then claims the line he added, if injuries were reported, there were no injuries reported. They're going to find out the vehicle that Tyrell Morris ran into. They're going to interview that driver. Was he drunk? Did he appear drunk? Was he wobbling? Was it a Cedric Richmond slurred speech, having trouble walking? Reportedly from witnesses. The city council wants him gone. We've had enough. Reportedly, the Office of Inspector General is investigating him. And the mayor's doubling down. It's like Vappie. Especially he's the best. He's sticking around. I said earlier that September 15th date, I guess he's going to stick around and get 3 more months of salary. A caller last hour was like, what's the significance of the September 15th date? And I was like, maybe there's nothing significant about it, but maybe there is. Maybe it has something to do with his pension or retirement, money, something. What is the significance? Is there significance of this September 15th date? I thought that was a brilliant point by Jay last hour calling in on the program. Why the September 15th date? Why that date? Hey, Lebanon's Cafe is open for dinner till 9:30. Indoor dining, their air-conditioned dining room, or get a to-go order. Or if the breeze is nice and it's not hot, you're not sweating, sit outside. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette, right by the streetcar barn. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Hey, speaking of that neighborhood right around the block, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton, the Riverbend of Uptown. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, Ken Friend, over 40 years. Like he says, you have a friend in the jewelry business, and you do. They'll treat you right. Real diamonds, natural diamonds. They've got diamond jewelry at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers for thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands of dollars. They have some items, and I'm not kidding, at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers that sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Real diamonds, natural diamonds, 1 billion years old, tennis bracelets, diamond necklaces, diamond stud earrings. And then Friend and Company Fine Jewelers has one room in the store dedicated to real diamonds, natural diamonds, 1 billion years old, diamond necklaces, tennis bracelets, diamond stud earrings. Everything's under $1,000 in that room. Everything's under $1,000 in that room. Real, natural diamonds, 1 billion years old, every price point, something for everyone. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
That's what I said. That's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right, Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Here's New Orleans native son, Corey Johnson.
New Orleans City Councilman Freddie King joins us.
So I want to first say thanks for having me. And believe it or not, man, I used to listen to your show all the time driving home. So it's an honor to be on.
Freddie, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the program. Thanks.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Come on down to New Orleans' own Bourbon Street, the toilet of the Crescent City. Literally. Need to urinate? Pee right on one of the historic buildings. Need to vomit? It's okay. Throw up right in the street. Bourbon Street. Prostitution, drugs, strip joints, daiquiri shops, and trinket stores. The toilet of the Crescent City. Come on down. It's Bourbon Street.
I was at Helm Paint and Decorating's Earhart location today. I saw Ronnie Helm talking to Joey Helm, Charlotte, the whole crew over there. Charlie taking care of people, mixing paints. Boy, it's hustle and bustle going on over there, that Earhart location. Getting it done with the drive-through. There's 6 other locations in the metro. Helm Paint and Decorating. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction with high-quality Benjamin Moore products. Helm Paint and Decorating. Corey Johnson with you on a wide-open Wednesday. LSU baseball fans, I highly recommend checking out YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Around 4:20 this afternoon, John Morgan, the father of Trey Morgan, joined us for a good 35, 40 minutes. I thought it was a good interview. I thought he was fantastic, what he was saying. LSU national champion baseball Tigers having a little party at Bertman Box. The gates open in about 15, 20 minutes. The party starts at 7:30. I mean, if you're in New Orleans, literally, you could leave right now within the next 5, 10 minutes and catch the whole thing. What's that, Blue Boy? You are a running. You're going to take River Road, the long route. You want to check out this big party for the baseball champions. You better run fast. Thanks, New Orleans. See you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Be there.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.